Howdy folks, Mikey McKernan here, aka Boo-Ha Man, aka Is Not Funny. Welcome to another stand-up adventure vlogs. Thanks for clicking. I'm sorry. I've been MIA, haven't been posting vlogs in like over a month. It's coming up on 2 months. I apologize. I'm sorry. I've been very busy. I've had some vlogs planned with gigs. They got canceled. One gig I found out that the booker was a creep, so I had to bail on that. But we're on the horse today. There's a lot been going on. I've been so busy. I'm sorry, okay? Mostly working, wearing a name tag, or I like to call NAG. Name and tag put together. Get it? NAG. Working so much, saving up all my ducats as much as I can. I usually would save up for a comedy trip, go get some vlogs somewhere out of town, enjoy myself. I don't know. I want to save up for, I just don't know. I can't figure it out yet. There's like so many different options that I'm just going to keep saving up money and working as much as I possibly can. And yes, I will keep trying to get myself booked. Also, what I didn't mention in the new year that has been going on is that I started hosting an open mic. One of my favorite stomps on a Monday night, downtown Los Angeles, Boomtown Brewery. I have started co-hosting along with my friend Nick. He was looking for some help. I've been doing this for so long that I know that I have the skills to help him and turn it into a really fun open mic. So Mondays, we're there. I'm promoting it now. Please follow our Instagram at Boom Mic Comedy, because sometimes we'll cancel the show. Like last week, I was picked for potluck at the Comedy Store. Yeah. I know, got up at the Comedy Store. First time in, I don't know, almost 2 years. It was great. It was fun. Booker wasn't watching, but who cares? A lot of friends were there. They said I did good, so that is validation. I feel good. Move on. But please, come to our open mic. I'm pulling names out of the bucket and being a cheerleader in between. But tonight, I'm in Long Beach, California. So much drama in the LBC. It's kind of hard being the Boo-Ha. Tonight, Long Beach, California, I am performing at the Bamboo Club. It's a tiki bar. Even more fun because I like tiki bars. I'm going to get myself a tiki drink today, okay? I'm going to have a cocktail on the vlog. It's gonna be fun. But before that, put this for the Instagram story. Vlogging Long Beach. So many spots. There's so many spots in Long Beach. It's littered with tons of history, plaques, attractions, art, everything. But the first spot we're gonna go to, something I've never been to, it has a lot to do with little California history. One of the older ranchos. That was like a large land that people used to own. I've been reading some history. I know, doesn't sound like it. My first stop where I'm at is Rancho Los Cerritos. I'm in the parking lot doing the intro. I've never been. I don't know what to expect. I think they have free tours. I might just roam on my own. Hopefully they'll let me be obnoxious with the camera. A couple other spots I'll check out in Long Beach too as well. And then there's a weird thing that I've noticed in Long Beach, and I haven't figured out what the answer is. Hopefully whoever watches this will know. And if anything along the way, we shall capture. So let's boogie. Rules. Follow the rules. Rancho Los Cerritos. I'm gonna get a free tour.
Howdy. My name is Mr. Smith.
Thanks,
and I came from Ireland.
Take it away.
Right here is what 27,000 acres is, and that was the Rancho Los Cerritos, built in 1844. And so these are all the cities within the rancho. It was first part of an allocation from the King of Spain. He gave Manuel Nieto 300,000 acres. Nieto lived in Whittier and raised his family there. When he died, the land was divided 6 ways, and this parcel went to his daughter Manuela. And it was then sold to John Temple up in Los Angeles, who made this into Rancho Los Cerritos and a cattle ranch. That was a big thing here. This is the cattle industry. In 1866, there was droughts, and all the cattle died throughout to California, and that's when Joaquin Bixby came and down from the Hollister area with 20,000 sheep, and it all became a sheep ranch then.
Did you believe that I played ice hockey in the city of Lakewood once?
Yes. The Tonga were here long before anyone. The original people that lived here, their land went from San Juan Capistrano to Malibu, from the foothills through the Southern Channel Islands.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm from Rancho Cucamonga, and we got Tonga history out there.
Yeah. There's the picture of the rancho when John Temple had it. There's still about 7 original trees
Wow.
That date back 180 years. And that was Jotham Bixby's house on Ocean Avenue. And then that was destroyed during the 1933 earthquake. This tree here is called a toyon tree. You see these little black berries right now, they're all drying up. And the Tonga would use those, they'd roast them and put it into their bread.
How long you been doing this?
5 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Got to be a history buff to want to enjoy this, right?
I love it, yeah. And I was born and raised Long Beach.
One of my favorite things to do for my vlog is try to find all the plaques. We love the little golden bear above there.
Yeah.
There it is.
Now this is called deer grass, and deers will make a bed in it and they can camouflage from predators. But then the Tongva, they were known for making baskets. They use these sturdy pieces here to frame the basket, and then they'd weave grasses and things with it.
See, this is why I take the tour, I pass all this, not even pay
You'd
attention.
be like, yeah, that's a tree.
Yeah,
You got
which,
your coral bells are blooming right now. Now this is called ceanosis here.
This is gorgeous.
And it's just starting to bloom, and the Tongva would use these, they'd take off a bud and put a little water in their hand, and it would suds up, and it would be a defoliant and wash.
Wow.
They could also make an eye wash with it as well.
Does it smell?
And it really works. Not much scent.
Yeah, that's.
But it works. I tried it. It's like, well, I keep telling people about it. Let's see if it really works. And it does.
That is awesome.
This is called a red bud.
Oh, cool.
And the flowers can be eaten. They're lightly sweet. They would take a stick like this, they'd slice it, and then it has a reddish cast to it, so then they could weave into their baskets a design.
Oh, wow. See, natives, they knew what to do with the earth.
Oh gosh, yeah.
They sure did.
And they didn't take more than they needed.
Yeah.
You know, and they'd always give back. And if they killed an animal, they would thank that animal and release their soul. It was just, and to eat fruit or something, they'd thank them.
Yeah.
Because it's a living thing.
100%. It's like you.
Now, I do the same thing. I have an orange tree, and I go in the morning, I get an orange, and I say thank you.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I always like to ask the question if, what do you think is more powerful, technology or nature?
Nature.
I agree. I will always agree nature is.
Yarrow. It's a herb that's during the Civil War, the soldiers would put it in their pack. And if they had a really bad wound, they could make a paste from it, put it onto the wound, and it would help coagulate the blood and keep away infection.
Wow.
Elderberry.
Oh, this right here.
But they also called it a music tree. Here's a nice blossom here.
Yeah, look at that.
It's really pretty right now. They called it a music tree because when they would cut a branch off, it's real soft inside. So they could bore it out and make whistles and flutes. And then their culture didn't have drums like a lot of indigenous people. They would split a branch and make clackers. So they keep tempo with the clackers. This is the rancho here, the adobe. It's a 10,000 square foot adobe, which is one of the largest in Southern California. And it's all made from adobe. This is the actual, what it would have looked like would have been when it was first made. It would have had flat roofs, no sun coverage, no overhangs. It was just dirt from threshold to threshold. Working ranch, there'd be horses.
This looks beautiful. This is why you do this.
So this is the mayordomo's room, or manager or supervisor, because John Temple lived up in LA, so he needed somebody to take care of the books and the vaqueros that worked on the range, because this was the #1 industry in Southern California, or Alta, was the cattle industry for hides and for tallow, which is the fat that makes candles and soap. Came from Spain. He could speak Spanish and English, and he knew math. His name is Senor Rocco, and he's on the 1950 or 1850 census. So it's all there, and that's his actual ledger there.
Wow.
Yeah, which is really cool.
They didn't have these though in the 1800s, right?
No.
Somebody left their sunglasses in here.
In fact, there's a lady at the office that was looking for sunglasses. That might be hers.
We found them.
Yay, good. She'll be happy. This was his bedroom as well as his living room, study, his everything room.
A lot of young artists can relate.
Yeah, and now these floors on the working rigs originally would have been all dirt floors like this. And they would seal them every couple of years with ox blood.
Whoa.
And all the wood had to come from Northern California because we don't have hardwoods here. So all that's redwood from Northern California, come down on a barge and did all the framing, and then they put in all of the adobe. And you can see how thick the walls are with how the adobe is thick.
Oh my!
So that keeps the temperature very.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's very cool in here.
Yeah. Now in 1866 is when the Bixby's came, because all the cattle industry, it was devastated. You know, they had 1 year of floods that was like drowned so many. They said that they saw them going out to the ocean.
Oh no!
That many, and then it was followed by 2 years of drought. So that's when Mr. Bixby came down from Hollister with 20,000 sheep and made it a sheep ranch. But he lived here with his family. There was about 15 people with brothers and sisters and or brothers and sisters-in-law and children, and they all lived in the house there. These would have been workers' quarters, like the bunk room and kitchen or dining room for the workers. Since the Bixbys were living here, they needed help, so they hired 2 Chinese men, Ah Ying and Ah Fan, cooking and ironing. And so the water goes in and out this way, and so you can get suds, and that helps clean the things. Then after that, then they would put it through the wringer to get the extra soap out. Then they'd have it in fresh water, wring it out, fresh water, and into the wringer, and then put it out to dry. Iron, they're all made of iron.
Yeah, that's real. That's heavy.
They'd have to be heated on the stove and transferred back and forth as they'd cool off. There's one record that Sarah Bixby wrote a book called Adobe Days, and she said they used to watch Ying iron, and like our grandmothers had a sprinkler bottle to moisten it a little so it'd be. Well, they didn't, so they take a swig and go, and then they iron it. Wool socks would go onto those stays so that they wouldn't shrink, because wool can shrink very quick.
I've never seen it. It looks like little hockey sticks.
Yeah, they do. And if you had buttons like this shirt, if they washed that, they'd have to take the buttons off because it's going through the wringer.
Oh,
and it wouldn't crush the so then you had to sew it all back. So it was very labor intensive. Wow. And then the Bixbys, they put in a wooden floor here because there was so much water, it would be all muddy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This is a storage room, kind of like our garage. You know, they had extra beds for visitors because we didn't have any motels. And if somebody's just coming up the coast and they see this up here, they might knock and say, could we spend the night?
Yeah.
And have maybe breakfast, and they'd be say, sure, come on. And these are sheep shearers. And there's 40 men that would go around to all the ranches, and they'd shear sheep, and it would be twice a year because our weather is warm enough that they can do that. These are the shears they would use all day long, all year long.
Holy smokes.
Can you imagine the arms?
Keep that away from my hair.
Yeah. The wool here, how it would be taken off, you can feel the lanolin in it.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
Yeah, and then it would be stored in bags like this, and the kids would have their job by putting on the stencil, J. Bixby and Company. They'd do that. For every sheep that was sheared, they would get a token. It says JB, Jotham Bixby.
Sweet.
And at the end of the week, then they'd get paid a check or regular money. And every 10th sheep, they would make a mark. So it was kind of their abacus of how many sheep they had that year.
Wow.
So they did
their record.
Yeah. And we got food storage room here. Since we don't have refrigeration, but the walls are thick enough that it keeps things cooler. I mean, every month we'd have to go into Los Angeles to get things like beans and rice, molasses, oatmeal. This is, you could put your cream in that, and then you turn it. And in about 5 minutes, it starts separating and becoming very solid. And then all the liquid comes to the top, and the top is the buttermilk.
First ever blender.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I've heard that they're on the market again. And so now this is blacksmith shop. We have horses, so the horses have to have new shoes. Yes. So this is the place. You have a horseshoe into the forge, and it is red hot. You have the bellows here that would give it extra air to get the right temperature and the right color. And then once it was that way, then they'd put it onto the anvil. They put it that way. They have all kinds of different tools to work. Or they could do this to make it more round. Then after that, then they'd put it into the water to size it down, and then they could put it on the horse.
Don't worry, folks. That's not real water.
it gets really hot and smoky in here. So what would happen is you'd get a draft and all the smoke would go out that way. But it would still regulate the heat because you needed that heat. And there's also just a regular workshop. I mean, if you needed new soles on your shoes, you'd come in here to do that. And then this is an old jack. You could back your cart in here and jack your cart in and then put on a new wheel because the wheels were wood with the iron rim.
Wow, that'd be so much fun if you got a flat tire and they pulled that out of their truck.
I know.
I know what a hair wreath is. It's like when your loved ones pass away, you can do it with their hair.
I know.
And as weird and morbid that is, I actually like that.
I know.
I think that's cool.
A baby bottle that the baby could just nurse on it that way and leave the mom be able to eat without having to hold the baby. But they were finding that this tube was not being cleaned correctly and they were getting very sick and even dying.
Oh no.
So they called it the death bottle for a long time.
Oh no.
Yeah. So that didn't work very well.
Death bottle.
You can go out on it. They still have to paint it.
Oh, whoa.
So now we're kind of stepping into the 30s. Okay? But when it was first built in 1844, this would have had a floor that went all the way across.
Oh, I see.
And then one big room, and this was Mr. Temple's ballroom. And then in the 1930s, the nephew of Jotham, Llewellyn, he renovated this, and there was only 3 people living here. So they decided to blow out the ceiling and make a grand living room.
Yeah.
A nice fireplace. And Llewellyn, he purchased this house for $1 for legal rights. It was in such disrepair that he thought he was going to put in about $40,000, and this was during the Depression. And it turned out to be over $100,000.
Oh, wow.
He was a civil engineer, so he knew how to construct. So he put in rebar, floated concrete over this, put in the electrical, the gas, water. And this was 3 storage rooms. They took out 2 walls and created the library.
Yes. Smells amazing in here.
Yes, the books. And then this is all the Dewey Decimal System. You have the card case.
It's beautiful.
They're all digitized now because this is all part of the Long Beach Library.
Oh, cool.
It's resource only, so you reserve a time. They'll give you gloves. You can come through. That's a picture of Llewellyn. Jotham rather, and he's considered the father of Long Beach since he divided all the lands up to make different cities. But he's the one that brought sheep here originally.
Cool.
And all these books are, 19th and 20th century, all kinds of things that you might have, from sheep raising to doll houses to Victorian etiquette.
It's really funny because nowadays there's we do podcasting and we're like, oh, I'm recording, but you notice the sound, the acoustic has gotten smaller in here. So they're so good to absorb for acoustics.
And I think books should absorb.
Yeah.
And then we should absorb from the books.
Oh, trust me. I'm a ginormous reader.
Reverend Hathaway. And he came from back east, and this exhibit here is the abolition of the slave train. He lived on the border up in Maine, and he would bring slaves in, hide them, and then take them to freedom. And then he came here in the 1870s and lived with the family. And then this is the sun porch, really nice because it united all these rooms. These rooms are dark. And so this is brightened everything up there. You have all your living, your dining, entertainment, and then
this is so nice. So well lit.
This short overhang was the original overhang when it was a flat roof. And then when Llewellyn came, he put on the large overhang, and then he had it all landscaped by a famous landscape architect. Because this originally would have been just dirt, and they would bring horses up here and hook them up.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, there's this window here is really nice. Thinking, well, we'll replace this. Well, you have the horse here, and they get bored. They start gnawing away, and so Llewellyn said, "No, keep it. That's history."
That is.
So he was so into history and to preserve that.
See, this is a small thing you would have looked over if you were just on your own here.
Yeah, landscape architect was Ralph Cornell. He was a renowned landscape architect. He just came back from the Mediterranean and he said this will be a great Mediterranean garden. And now this stone here, at the time, the Bixby's owned 6,000 acres up in Palos Verdes. And so Llewellyn said, oh, you know, we have all that rock up there, let's use it.
That's a great idea because it looks gorgeous here with those steps.
Now this is the orchard. It was put in also in the 30s.
Oh, wow.
Cornell. Ralph Cornell put it on the south side so it would protect the house, keep it cooler. And in the winter time, if there was a frost, it would protect the, hi Kitty, would protect the
Kitty, 180-year-old tree, still greening.
Yeah, we have about 8 original ones. Like over here, that's a mission olive. That's original to the house. So this is the size of the veranda upstairs too. So.
Oh, is there a plaque over here?
Yeah, and now these bricks are original to the house. What they would have done would have been giving Dallas to the ships coming from back east. And this was what the house looked like before it was renovated. It was in very poor condition. But when Llewellyn saw this, he goes, wait a minute, save this.
Absolutely.
Because it's a height chart.
Oh my
Here's
Lord.
Harry Bixby here back in June 1st, 1878. And then here's Sarah here. So these are all the children and parents. This is Llewellyn here. So this dates back from 1866 to 1955.
Wow.
So he was like, no, keep it.
That right there is the coolest find, I think.
I know.
That might be the coolest find.
And then this is the other
Yes.
registered National Historic Landmark in 1970. So this is the only one that's national and state.
It
pretty flowers.
smells amazing over here.
Yeah, from the wisteria.
Oh, it's
Yeah, that's where it's coming from.
all that right there. That's the wind's blowing. That stank over here. It's not stank though. It smells amazing.
Yeah, closer you get, the better it smells.
Oh my. Yep. Tobacco right there. Nicotina. Yep, I don't need more of that in my life.
It's called a ginkgo biloba.
Yeah, that's what my parents would call each other when they forget stuff.
Yeah.
You ginkgo biloba.
Yeah, biloba. That one is amazing, and it's also on a list of important trees of Los Angeles.
That tree right there?
Yep. Wow. And they're thinking that there probably was a good water source there because it survived all the droughts and everything that we have every 5 years or so. And this is the pomegranate here. This is original to the house. It's 180 years old. And the pomegranate, you know, it goes back, I mean, thousands of years. And King Solomon, he liked the pomegranate and he loved the top of it. So he had his jeweler make a crown that resembled the top of the pomegranate, and that's where the crowns come from.
Oh man. Rancho Los Cerritos.
Yep.
Mr. Smith, right? Thank you so much again for
You're very welcome.
Absolutely. Do you have like any parting words?
Come and visit us. We're here Wednesday through Sunday from 1 to 5.
Great.
And it's free. If you can give a donation, great.
Yeah.
If not, it's your house too. So come on down.
Thank you.
California Gold.
That was great. Rancho Los Cerritos. Shout out to Mr. Smith giving me the tour. I got the tour, but I just let it go. We burned almost 2 batteries. I gotta change my memory card, but who cares? That was amazing. Please go visit the Rancho Los Cerritos. Please donate. Keep letting them preserve this. That was so detailed. That was so excellent. I'm so hyped. All right. Let's go to the next spot. It's gonna be really quick because I don't think we can go inside and check it out. And then one more spot, and then it's time for all right, spot number 2 in the Long Beach vlog. Usually when you Google like what's there weird things to see in Long Beach, this usually pops up. It's kind of funny, and that's why I had to come check it out. I'm still walking to it. We'll get there. I'm still walking to it. We'll get there. I'm still walking to it. We'll get there. It's over here off of 7th Street. It is the skinniest house in the nation. You see it? 3-story. Oh, it's kind of hard. This beautiful tree right here. But there it is right there. The skinniest house in the nation. Yeah, that tree is totally in the way. If you come here, you want to get your good pics. Look, it looks like they built stuff. Like, stop taking pictures of our house, you weirdo. Skinniest house in the nation. It was built in 1932 by Newton P. Rummins. And then city landmark, 1983. 7th Street, traffic. Gladys Street that I'm on right now. We're in the Rose Park neighborhood. It's right next to this beautiful mural. No plaques to commit. That's it right there. And it's done. That one's not going to be long. It's just a quick hello, how are ya? There was so many more spots I wanted to go to, but I didn't expect my first spot to be that long. I saw it. We did it. Private residence. Let's not be a bother. One more stop. This is a weird one. I can't figure it out. It's not that weird when you see it, but it's weird to me. And then we'll go to the gig. All right, third and final stop. Actually, we might take one more stop because I saw something driving over here. Fountain, and I gotta go to the bathroom, not helping. So there's something really weird that I've always noticed about Long Beach. I noticed that there's a bunch of streets that are named after the Inland Empire. For instance, like this one, Laverne, Pomona, and finally Claremont. I don't get it. I don't understand. Does anybody know why? There's also a few streets named after other California cities. For instance, Santa Ana, Covina, then Glendora. Can't tell you how many times I've come down to Orange County, Long Beach to do comedy, putting random addresses in and trying to find random spots. And so I'm always looking around on the maps, and I love studying the maps. And then I'm seeing this, and it's all these Inland Empire streets. I'm like, what's the deal? Does anybody know? I don't know. That was cool. I did see a statue on the way over here, like I said. All right, we're doing the Long Beach vlog. It's being fun. Aren't you having fun? Back to vlogging. When's the next vlog gonna be? I don't know. I mean, you can't do a vlog in Long Beach without going to the Long Beach. Sun is shining. I don't know if you can see, but Queen Mary, why didn't you go there, Mikey? I didn't want to. Also, I had to come check out. This is the Lone Sailor. Poor guy in his peacoat with his bag, just waiting for what? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Pretty epic. The Lone Sailor, Sandy Bluefield, 1984, U.S. Navy. I love ocean reflection. That was kind of inspiring. I had to come and do that. That felt nice. All right, I gotta find a bathroom, and it's time for comedy. 15 minutes, I'm going up first right after the host. I'm excited. Let's go. All right, I made it. I'm here. I'm at the Bamboo Club, but we're actually performing out here on the patio. I've been here before. This is a sweet tiki bar. I did a show back in the days, before the vlog, obviously, but tiki bar. Oh my gosh, it's a Bamboo Club, the tiki bar. Very excited, very excited. I haven't done a 15-minute set in 2024. This is my first one. I was scared. I couldn't even remember. I was like, I'm anxious. We'll see how it's gonna go. I'm going up first right after the host so I can get all the goose out and feel better about it. Let's go check out the venue, shall we? I love it. Look at, they even got fun stuff over here. Look at this. This is legit tiki bar. This is just the outside patio. Let's go look inside. So cool. Legit tiki bar. That's where I'll be performing. Right there.
He's amazing. He performs all over, and I love him to pieces. Please make it loud for the hilarious Mikey McKernan.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, will you at least clap for your cheerleader Christian getting this room started? Come on! Wonderful to be here. My name is Mikey McKernan. I'm 38 years old, and I'm afraid of confrontations. I avoid confrontations so much, I don't like to go to the airport. Because you always have to meet a rival. Boo. I'm gonna get this table to giggle at least once, I promise. Hopefully my friends will be here to see this. I'm a sensual lover, which means I'm not very good at choking during sex. I'm kind of scared to Google how to do it. I love it. I don't even know where that laugh's coming from. Does that come from this lady? I'm not making fun of people's laughs. Don't make fun of people's laughs. They probably never get second dates. Right? If you have a really horrible laugh, you're like, boy, I hope they're not funny. I'm up here by myself. This is amazing thoughts. During Halloween season, I love spooky women. Anybody miss spooky season? Yes. I love spooky women. They're so hot. Like all the dark hair, the fishnets, the tattoos. But if you smell like fog machine, then you're legit. Well, as most you can tell, nothing's going on with me. I'm just growing my mustache out right now until I get my teeth fixed. Which sucks because I got a deaf friend who doesn't want to hang out with me because he can't read my lips. A lot of people like that one because I don't do the noise. What's a pirate's favorite tea? Blue tea. Alright, that's... I like a lot of tea jokes. What can you say? You can say I'm slutty. I got a sticker that says Mike McKernan is not funny for those who didn't laugh. This guy did not laugh once. There you go. Bamboo Club, thank you so much for having me out. You guys so much for the show. Keep going, Christian. Ooh, all right, just got off stage. They were stiff. It was tough. Host had a tough time going up. I was trying to pull laughs out of them, but it was a little brutal. They thought I was weird, but I didn't realize until the set was over that I forgot my new favorite jokes. Oh, where I say make a living and I do the classical music. I'm so mad because that is such a good weirdness that I do. It's a good bit because it's like, yeah, this is a catchphrase. My act, it's gonna be weird. Deal, all right? And I forgot it because I haven't done 15 minutes in a while. It was gonna be a rough set, not from the host, but when I moved the stool and I was walking up to the microphone, they stopped clapping before I even touched the microphone. And then I still was like, I got all this energy. I should be like, thank you. If you don't want to clap until I get to the microphone, but then that's who they were. Like, I shouldn't have taken that time. I should have jumped in faster. Ugh. This is what I want to be doing. This feels good. Doing vlogs and doing comedy, dissecting the comedy afterwards so I can get better. That's the whole point of having this vlog, so I can get better. Bah. Some jokes worked, some jokes didn't. Don't know what I did. I went to the old stuff because I was like, wow, I'm running out of material because I've done 15 in a while. But I forgot the jokes, and they're so good, especially up front. Very disappointed in myself. I'm being real, but yeah, you can call them excuses and stuff like that. But gotta make sure I'm prepared. Doing the vlog for the first time in months, like just under 2 months, you know, working on the longer set. So many elements that I have to overcome because if I want to be like, hey, you follow because this is compelling, because I'm funny and it's interesting and you learn something and you're brainwashed that I'm cool. That is it. Bamboo Club, thank you. That was fun. Shout out to my boy Christian. Another stand-up adventure vlog in the page of the book of YouTube. With me, your host. If you don't know, if you haven't gotten this point, you're like, who is this weird guy? I am Mikey McKernan. Thank you so much for clicking. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for liking. Thank you so much for commenting. Please, if you haven't, hit that subscribe button. Stand-up comedian, going to cities, looking up history. Today, I gotta admit, I got lucky. This was a lucky vlog. I had my boy Mr. Smith totally do the whole Rancho Los Cerritos, even though the batteries ate up and I didn't have my memory card ready and So I got no excuses for the comedy not to be folk rock. Follow me on Instagram, link down below. That's your best bet of when can we see you. I put my dates in the bio, and I have your website going. I know. I'm very grateful for you. Leave comments. Why streets with Inland Empire? Mikey, why don't you do these jokes? Mikey, why don't you do that? Mikey, why don't you come here? Mikey, yay! That's enough. You're great. One love.